Hey, Tea Time Familia! Welcome to Tea Time with Marie, a virtual home for those who are looking to be encouraged and empowered through healing and spiritual growth, where true conversations without judgment and closed mindedness take place. Now, let's get started. How is everyone doing today? It's so wonderful to be back with Tea Time with Marie. I am ready here to give you the tea. It's nice and hot and ready for you guys. Let's get right into it, right? Because you guys know me, I don't like to waste time. I really do hope everyone has been having a great week. And if you haven't, listen to some tea to switch it around for you guys. So today, my subject is going to be a little crazy, which is hilarious because the title is Are You Crazy Enough? So that's what I want to talk to you guys about today, being crazy enough. And you're like, Marie, what? Because normally people, when they talk about being crazy, they talk about it in a negative, in a negative way. Like, oh, look at this crazy person, or what are they doing? They look so crazy, right? But Tea Time with Marie today is going to be talking about how you need to be a little bit crazy, right? You need to be a little bit crazy to get those dreams and those goals and move on to the next level of life where you want to be, right? So my question to you when you're telling, right, when you're putting it in atmosphere, when you are setting that intention is, are you crazy enough? So I'm just gonna let that sink in for a minute. Are you crazy enough, right? Are you crazy enough to believe in your dreams when everything is going to the left? Are you crazy enough to believe in your dreams when no one else believes in your dreams but you? Are you crazy enough to believe in those dreams when things are not looking like they're possible, right? When everything is in the opposition, right? When you're getting that pressure, right? When things are going wrong, when people are not on your side, where you don't even know where to start, right? But you do have a dream, you have a goal, you want to set this intention out to the world, and you need to ask yourself, are you crazy enough? Do you have that little bit of crazy that you need to move on to the next level, right? And I would hope you say yes, right? Because not all crazy is bad crazy. You do need to be a little bit crazy, right? Especially now in these times when reaching your dreams and reaching your goals is not easy. People, make it seem like it is, but it's not. It's a lot of work, it's process, it's sometimes living in the wilderness. We don't want a wilderness mentality, but we're most likely are going to go through some wilderness experience, right? Especially when we're setting out an intention to change our lives, right? To change our future, right? To accomplish these goals, right? It gets a little hard, it gets a little uncomfortable, it gets a little lonely, right? And you have to be a little crazy, right? To be like, am I really going to do this? Am I still going to keep going? Am I going to keep waiting on this? Am I going to keep pushing? Am I going to keep doing my very best, right? Even though everything looks quite the opposite. That's why I say, Titan Familia, you need to be a little bit crazy, at least a little bit crazy, okay? I can definitely testify that I have some crazy in me, right? When I've been doing tea time with Marie when I first started, I had no idea what I was doing. I've never done podcasts. I've never, went on live and talked about, never was this vulnerable and just talking to people about my situations and motivating other people because there was times where I felt like I was in the wilderness. I felt like I was in the dark. I felt like I didn't even know if I was going to be able to get out of my situation, and here I am inspiring others and giving, people tools and tips and sharing all my goodness that I have and pouring out so you guys can use this, so you guys can apply it, right? I was definitely a little crazy, right? But when I got those messages saying, Tea Time with Marie has helped me so much. Tea Time with Marie inspired me and helped me to move forward. Or when I would miss a tea time here and there, right? Because we're not all perfect. And I would get those messages, where's tea time with Marie this week, right? Why haven't you posted on live? Why haven't you posted, your tea, right? I had to be a little bit crazy to keep on going and to believe, right, that I could do this and to be intentional about my tea time and know that I am making a difference, even if it's just for that one person, and know that my dream matters and that I can push forward, right? Even when everything looks the opposite. I mean, guys, I can be here testifying that Tea Time with Marie started in my living room, right? Doing my lives, shushing the kids, like, guys, I need you guys to be quiet, please, redoing the video a couple times because the kids are in the background driving me crazy. I'm like, no, right? And here we are, Tea Time Familia. I am in a whole podcast station right now, doing a tea time, sharing my tea time with you guys and in different platforms to get it across many people who need to hear this, who needs to hear that you can do it, that you can push forward, that the wilderness is part of the process, that those setbacks are part of the process. It is normal. Nobody talks about that, but it is normal. When you're pushing forward, when you're setting an intention, a lot of the times things go left before they go right, right? You got to drop some things before you're able to move forward to the next level. And you do have to be a little crazy, right? To keep on pushing when those things don't seem right, when those things don't seem like they're going the way that you thought so, right? When things get hard, when you're in that wilderness, right? You have to be a little crazy to keep pushing. And that is what I wanted to tell you guys today, right? I challenge you guys to ask yourself this and please answer yes, right? And if not, then get a little crazy and know that it is okay to have setbacks and know that it is okay to be in a crappy, situation. Like it is normal and it is okay to go through some stuff before you get to some stuff. It is okay, right, to have some growing pains because that's what it is. Growing pains when you are trying to do better for yourself, when you are trying to grow, when you are setting an intention, right? I want to talk about when I was listening, when I was gathering all my stuff for my tea time, right? I did a little research and I researched some people. So I researched, you guys already know, I went into the book. I went into the book of my Lord, right? The Bible. And I looked at, some of the people in the Bible, like Noah, right? When he was asked to build a boat, right? When God told him, "You need to build a boat because I am flooding the earth." And no one believed him, right? And everyone looked at him crazy, right? I'm sure his own family probably looked at him like, "Are you sure God's speaking to you? Like, where are we even going to get the material? How is this all going to happen?" But God is so good that he provides and he gives you specific directions. But Noah had to be a little crazy, right? To believe, right? To set that intention and move forward with God and know, like, this is what my God is saying and I can do it and it is going to happen, right? He had to be a little crazy to move forward with that. Moses, right? You guys know the story about Moses. He went back to Egypt to free his people, right? And when they left Egypt, right, the Egyptian army was right behind them, right, persecuting them, right? They're trying to get them back into, into slavery, into where they were, and they come across the Red Sea, right? And now they're stuck, right? Mind you, they already had to be a little crazy, right, to step out, right, and believe in God and believe that God was gonna free them from Egypt. But now they're in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the Red Sea, with nowhere to go, right? And Moses had to be a little crazy, guys, to believe, right? What did he have to believe? That God was going to get him through this too, right? And God was like, use what you have. And he had a staff, guys, okay? He had a staff. He had a stick in his hand. And God is telling him, use what you have and part the Red Sea, right? He had to be a little crazy to think like, okay, this is going to work, right? But look at what that little crazy got Moses. And look at where that little crazy got Noah, right? God didn't fail them. They didn't lack. God was right behind them. He kept his word. He kept his promises, right? And there's promises for you and there's promises for me and there's a purpose in you and there's a purpose in me and God is still going to pull through for the both of us. We just have to be a little bit crazy to believe. We have to be a little bit crazy to keep going, right? When God spoke to Abraham and said, "You're going to be a father of many nations." And he was 80 something, 100 when he actually, got his promised baby. He had to have a little crazy in him to believe, right? He had to have a little crazy in him to believe that God was going to come through, that he was going to be the father of many nations, right? That his sons were going to be as, as numerous as the stars, right? His descendants, right? Like that, come on, guys. I can't be the only one. That would have been like, God, what? I'm 100 and something years old. How am I going to even, right? Even Sarah, when God told them the promises, Sarah, his wife, Abraham's wife, laughed, right? She chuckled because she must have been thinking like, okay, God, this is a little crazy, right? I can't bear children anymore. I'm past that age, right? But Abraham believed. He believed in God and he used that little bit of crazy, right, to fuel his hope, to fuel his faith, to keep on pushing, to keep on believing, and to keep on waiting on his promise, right? So we got people in the Bible that were just as crazy enough, right? To push through, to get through their dreams, to get through their goals, right? And that's what we need to do as well, right? God is a promise keeper, right? But there's always, and I always say this, there's always a part for us to play, right? We are laborers together with God. That is what it is, right? There's his part and there's our part. And our part is, okay, to believe in him. We definitely there's other parts and there's other things that he asks us to do, but a major big one is to believe. And sometimes that sounds a little crazy, right? The things that we are expected to believe when things look completely the opposite, right? When things are like, how do you want me to believe for a house when my credit score, it's really low? How do you want me to believe for a new job when I've been applying, to 50,000 other jobs and they just keep hiring, right? How do you believe, right? Today I was talking to my mom and she's been believing for a job, for a new job, right? And she messaged me and she's like, she felt a little discouraged, right? Because she didn't have, the further education that a lot of people are required to have, right? For this position. She has the experience, but she didn't necessarily have the paper, right? The paper, the diploma, the things that a lot of places required. And I was telling mommy, I know you don't have that, but you have something that a lot of people don't have, and that is God's favor. And my mom needed to be a little crazy to believe that, out of all the people applying, even though she didn't have those exact credentials, right? She had God's favor and she was going to still get the job. And let me tell you guys, she called me and she got the job. And I was like, woo, exciting because we have to have a little bit of crazy faith. We have to have a little bit of crazy in us, right? To accomplish our dreams and to accomplish our goals, right? So I challenge you guys today to dig deep and find a little bit of crazy that's going to help you push forward, right? A little bit of crazy that's going to help you move forward from maybe that place that you're stuck, or maybe that place where it looks hopeless, or maybe that place where it looks like you're in the wilderness, right? I don't need you guys to give up. I don't need you guys to be perfect, okay? I just need you guys to be a little bit crazy, just a little, to believe that it will still happen for you, to push forward, to go to another day, to make another step, right? That's what we need. And I was researching, okay, guys, because I'm gonna give it to you guys too. I was researching some great people, right? Some great companies that are very successful, and we all know, okay, now to this day, KFC, right? The owner of KFC, he was rejected by over 1,000, okay, restaurants before establishing KFC. Okay, 1,000, not one, not two. We get discouraged and when we don't get the first job and the first apartment and the first house. 1,000, over 1,000 restaurants rejected him. Okay, and look at what he has accomplished. Right? Who doesn't love KFC? Right? It is known all over the world. Right? And this all happened with that little bit of crazy faith, a little bit of crazy in him that pushed him to keep believing, that pushed him to keep going. That he must have been like, you know what, 1,001, 1,002, but I'm gonna get it done. And that would sound crazy to some people, right? But you do need to be a little bit crazy to get those dreams and to get to where you need to be. It is what it is. Not all crazy is bad. We're talking about the good crazy, the crazy that's gonna push us forward, the crazy that's not gonna allow us to quit. That's what we need to be, because we live in a world when there is a lot of oppositions. There's a lot of oppositions. There's the wilderness, right? The wilderness that we have to go through, the struggles, right? This is, I mean, we probably all said this. If it's not one thing, it's another, right? We live in that, right? Because that is true reality. We are humans. We are not perfect, right? But we can have that little bit of crazy to push us forward, right? Pepsi. Okay, I like Coca-Cola better, but Pepsi was bankrupt twice before they got it right. Twice, okay? And I mean, twice might not seem like a lot more than, 1,000 times rejected, but bankruptcy, as in zero, as in having nothing, as in having to start from scratch and still have that negative, that negative mark on you, like, oh my God, you got bankrupt twice. Like this doesn't look so good. This is not looking up for you. That the owner had to be a little bit crazy to believe, you know what, the third time is gonna work out for us. We still gotta keep forward. We still gotta keep pushing forward, right? Walt Disney. Come on, guys. That's a big one because Walt Disney, Walt Disney is everywhere in movies. Okay, we have Disneyland, Disney World. We have it here. We have it in Paris. We have it in Tokyo. Like it's worldwide. Okay, and Walt Disney, right? He had a failed production company, right? And he was labeled for lacking creativity. Okay, yes, you guys heard that right. He was labeled, right, as lacking creativity. Walt Disney. Okay, Walt Disney, guys. This is Disney World, and I've been to Disney World, and there is nothing of lacking creativity in that place. It is, no matter what age you are, you can definitely enjoy that place, right? And get back to your, little kid days and reminisce on all the good Disney movies and I mean, who doesn't love a good Disney movie? You guys, come on now, okay? I'm sure he had to be a little bit crazy to keep on going and to believe in his dreams and in his goals and in this amazing company, right? Like that he wanted to create for, for his life, for his purpose, right? And I'm pointing out all these great businesses and all this these amazing people in the Bible because I'm giving it to you guys a little bit of everywhere, a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So there is no excuse for you not to be able to relate, not to be able to take it in and truly, truly dig deep for that little bit of crazy, okay? Dig deep for that little bit of crazy that is going to push you forward. Dig deep for that little bit of crazy, right? That is going to get you, even if it's just to the next day. Sometimes, guys, we just need to get to the next day, right? I'm all here for it. Let's have all this energy for tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day. But if you can just get till tomorrow without quitting, you give yourself a pat on the back. You got this. Okay. And then tomorrow, we can worry about tomorrow's troubles because it will be enough. But if you can just get through today, just get through today without quitting, without giving up on yourself, dig deep for that little bit of crazy. Like, you know what? It's not looking like it, but I'm going to dig deep for my little crazy and know that, yes, it is going to work out for me. That is going to work out in my favor, right? I am a king. I am a queen. God has purpose for my life. God has spoken and said there is purpose, right? God has spoken and given promises to my life, so they are going to come to pass because I always say this, but it is the truth. He is no man to lie, okay, or son of man to change his mind, okay. But we have to do our part, and we can't quit. If we quit, we that's when we lose, right? You never really fail unless you quit. I mean, come on now, 1,000 times rejected from different restaurants before KFC was open, bankrupt twice, right? Fired from from a production company, lacking creativity. Like, come on, guys. You really don't fail unless you quit. So today, I need you guys to dig deep into that little bit of crazy and stir it up and know, like, you know what? Marie is right. I am a little crazy. I am gonna have that little bit of crazy faith and I'm gonna push forward and I'm gonna make it. And this is going to happen for me. Right? You guys got this, Titan Familia. I know that you guys got this. All right. Now you just need to believe in yourself because, of course, I can believe in you all day long and I can give you all the tools and tell you all my stories. But if you don't believe it, if you don't dig deep for that little bit of crazy, where we're going to go from there? What are we going to really accomplish from there? So I challenge you today to dig deep and get a little crazy and push forward for what it is you truly want in this life because it can absolutely be yours. It is absolutely yours if you keep on going. If you keep on going, Titan Familia. Okay, that was it. That's all that I had for you guys today. I'm done preaching here. I always say that every time I talk to my girls and I'm like giving them advice. I'm like, okay, let me stop preaching. But it's the truth and it is truly what I believe. It is what I believe. What I come here and I tell you guys, I study, I prep myself, I pray, of course, because I want it to be, you know, I want it to be the words of God. I want God to flow through me and speak to you guys and give you that motivation and sometimes even give you that tough love. But most importantly, give you truth and transparency and just be real with you, right? Because that's how we're going to move forward. All right, Titan Familia, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. As I always say, don't cheat yourself, treat yourself. And I'm going to explain that real quick. Okay, so the treat yourself, don't cheat yourself, treat yourself, it's really because in life, we cheat ourselves out of opportunities. We cheat ourselves out of, you know, great things, right? Because they're a little hard, or, really because they're a little hard, or there's some obstacles, or they maybe take a little bit longer than we expect, and we kind of just cheat ourselves. I always say that. Don't cheat yourself, treat yourself. Treat yourself to that extra workout. Treat yourself to a workout. Treat yourself to some more water, some vitamins, something good for you. Goodness, right? And it's usually something hard to do. But I've learned that a lot of the hard things that we have to do in life are actually the things that are helping us as a stepping stone to move forward to where we want to be. And that's why I say don't cheat yourself. don't cheat. Yes, you can have that donut, right? Yes, you can slack off and not wake up earlier and get that, that business plan going. Of course you can. But you're just cheating yourself. You're not treating yourself. You're not giving yourself that goodness. And that's exactly what I mean for that. All right, Tea Time Familia. I hope you guys have an amazing day. And I'll talk to you guys later.